So in this video we're gonna talk about how to make chai. So we have our chai, loose chai. We have our measuring cup, and there's a line over here of where you want the amount of chai you want in there. We have our pitcher where we're gonna let it brew for 20 minutes the first time and 5 minutes the second time. And we have our timer that's gonna time. So the first thing you want to do is pour in the chai right to the line. Now we're gonna dump the chai that has been measured into the pitcher. And now we're gonna add some hot water from this equipment. So it could fit right there. You could turn it on. Don't walk away from it. There's been a couple big spills in this area. It could be really easy to distract yourself if you are working with others or customers asking you a question. So when you're doing this, just pay attention. Make sure, another important thing, make sure that you do it safely. This water is really hot, so you want to be careful. So at this point, the water, I don't want to do it higher than this because the spout will touch the chai and then this will get chai in there. So I want to avoid that. So one of these is just fine to that level. So it's important to just find a place that is out of the way. Right now we're closed, so I'm just gonna put it in the counter. But definitely find a spot where it's just not in the way, because it could be so easy to bump into it, spill it, and whatnot. So the next step is gonna be your timer. So the first time we let it steep, it's gonna be 20 minutes. And there it is. See you in 20 minutes. So a couple other tools we're gonna use is gonna be the funnel and the strainer. So the funnel, we want to place it over here, and this is the container that we're going to put the chai. So the funnel goes in there, that way we don't make a mess. We do it in the sink. That's the timer for 20 minutes. So the chai is good to go. The funnel in there, your strainer over here, and you just pour slowly. And whatever chai that's left in the strainer, we're going to throw it back into the pitcher, because we're going to do a second brew. If you see the container, we still need more chai in there to fill it up. Bring it back over here. Once again, it's gentle, put it in there, be careful. Turn it on. This time we won't go as high because we'll use less to fill up the gallon of chai. So we did it about here last time, so we're gonna do it right there. And that's about right. Now we're gonna do the timer for 5 minutes, so I'll see you in 5. So we're gonna do the process again. We just need a few seconds on the timer, so we're gonna let it go. But here's our chai, and then same thing, we're gonna have the funnel and then the strainer over here, and that is time. Grab it. The water's really hot, so always be careful. Pour slowly. you can see, now it's just all the chai. We're gonna dump this back into the pitcher. This could be a little messy. If you're careful, it's not that bad. You just want to make sure at the end you just clean up after you're done with this project. So here's the lid for this. We're gonna put it in here, and we're halfway there. We got the hot chai. The next step is the process of cooling it down. So a very important step, sometimes I see many people miss it, so it just becomes a hassle and you have to kind of do this step again. So if you could avoid that, it'll make it easier for everyone. Here's this guy. We're gonna lock it. Might go ahead and close the sink so the water stays in the sink. We're gonna turn on our cold water, and then we're gonna turn the faucet on. And I don't really know if you can tell in the video, but the water is not going down, it's staying. So that's a sign that it's locked and it's completely closed. So what we're gonna do is put this guy in the sink. Think about it, put it in the bathtub, make sure it's shut correctly. Turn on the water. And while the water's going on, I'm gonna grab some ice, which is right next door, and just fill the sink up. So you just let it sit in here for, I would say, like an hour and a half. And then you want to have a strategy throughout the day when you do this. You don't want to do it like a half an hour before we close, because then you won't be able to finish the process. But you also want to do it throughout the day. So a good rule of thumb is just when one is done in the fridge, start one. So every time we always got one going on, and we have a total of 3. I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. I was gonna say that at the end of the night we want to have 3. So in the morning, you don't really wanna. You'll be busy opening the shop, so you want to have the 3 chais ready to go. In case it's busy, we'll figure it out in the morning. No big deal. But anyways, you want to clean your station, rinse these out. If it's pretty bad, use soap, hot water. If you need to sanitize it, go for it. These guys, we're gonna dump it. Here's our tools. We do have a spot for all of these guys. It's important to put them back so when you're gonna make one, you know where the things are. One thing that people tend to forget is this guy. So there's some chai, a little bit of chai in there. So I want to make sure you clean that out as well. Something that happens with the chai in the ice, it changes the color. So right now it's dark. It's a dark color. And after it's done, it changes to a lighter color. That's a good question to ask one of your science professors. So I'll show you how that looks in an hour and a half. So now the chai is done. I don't really know if you can tell the difference in the color in the video, but it's a lot lighter now. So this is ready to go on the fridge. And now we could unplug the sink. A little cold in there. A little cold never hurt anyone. And we let that drain, and now we could use both sinks. And we have a chai.